I am very excited for our guest today. I think there's a lot to learn. We're going to focus on what it's like to actually deliver agents at scale in a regulated industry, which is not always easy. And let me introduce Tyler Bauer. Tyler, tell us where you're from, what you do, your whole life story in less than a minute.
All right. Thanks, Greg. Super excited to be here today. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share our story with you. As you mentioned, my name is Tyler Bauer. I am Senior Vice President of System Ambulatory Operations at the University of Chicago Medicine. We are an academic health system anchored by our main campus on the south side of Chicago. We have 9 inpatient facilities, 25 ambulatory care sites, about 12,500 employees, and we do about 1.3 million ambulatory visits a year. So it's a busy place. I am a Sagittarius and like long walks along the beach. How's that?
I mean, I'd love to end on that. That would be so great for the audience. So look, there is no surprise in your industry. The pressure to deliver higher quality healthcare, to be more efficient, costs are not going down, Tyler. Unfortunately, in the healthcare industry, they're just increasingly getting best. So, when you started your agentic journey, what were some of the challenges besides obviously the macro environment I just painted?
Yeah, I mean, this is part of our larger journey or mission to create and make access to care more easy and seamless and really friction-free for our patients. I think for way too long, healthcare has really lagged behind other industries in how people interact with us. I mean, they kind of have to interact with us on our terms now, call between these hours and call.
I don't know what you're talking about, Tyler. I don't understand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we really want to change that. I mean, we want to design an experience that feels modern and intuitive. The way you can book a flight. I mean, the way you can select your seat, you can get updates on what
Yep.
direction you need to turn when you walk off of the plane. And so that was really part of the whole reason behind why we were looking for a solution here.
So Tyler, I love that point. I mean, again, within a regulated industry, to hold yourself to being to the standard for what, again, your patients, your customers expect from the airline industry. I mean, it's a high bar, right? You're talking about a consumer industry that doesn't have the same regulatory concerns that you do. At what point did that get to you?
I mean, it's really hard for me to think about this one.
I know it's painful, but we're going to do this is for the greater good, Tyler. It's greater good.
It was really figuring out a seamless and non-clunky way, if I can use that really appropriate term,
Yep.
to authenticate a patient. It was way more difficult than I think we really imagined that it would be. And you're exactly right. We're in a really highly regulated environment. Every implementation must go through a detailed compliance and
Yep.
privacy review. Patients have to be confident that they are interacting with their trusted
Yes.
Chicago medicine system and that their data is secure. Trust is that foundation of that patient's experience as
Yep.
well, and we're not going to compromise on that. It really was taking the time to get that right, which was, I think, the hardest for me because I was really married to the key milestone dates that we wanted to get things going.
The fun stuff, the exciting stuff,
Exactly.
the value proposition, not authentication. That's not value,
Exactly.
right? That's a prerequisite. You have to have it.
Yeah,
There's no value in that, right?
exactly.
I get
Exactly.
it. So
So
painful.
it was really taking the time to discuss that, try out different options with our privacy folks and implementation partners until we really found that solution that we felt would help us create both what the patient would want to experience, but also ensuring that everything was secure.
So it's interesting. This authentication issue is a non-starter, right? So if you do not get it right, there isn't going to be an ROI. There isn't going to be a value. what were some of the next hurdles that you saw that I don't know, maybe it didn't cause you concern or not, but I'm kind of curious when, you know, you're the SVP, you're on the line here to get this delivered. So, did you have those moments?
Yeah, I mean, we're fairly early on in our first use case,
Okay.
which is an agent chat on our website.
Okay.
And right now we're working through some response time latency.
Okay.
Not quite where we want it to be and where we feel that the optimal patient
Yeah.
experience is. But we're working through those and have certainly a collaborative partnership to be able to try to resolve those within
Mhm.
our own team, but also our systems integrator and the team at Salesforce as well.
But where I've seen the successful versus the non-successful is the quality of the data, right? The agent's
Mm,
only good as the knowledge that's provided. Um, what have you seen from that? It's one thing if the agent's slow. Again, that's kind of a whack-a-mole. How do we get the latency down? It's a combination of factors.
mhm.
But if the data's not good, it doesn't matter because it's even worse for your patient if it's slow and it's wrong.
It's early, but the results have been really good in terms of the quality of what we're seeing in terms of the responses, pulling information from the right areas and getting the right information to our patients and families and others that are using our website. It's hitting the mark where it needs to be. So we're super excited about that piece. And part of our work as a team as we continue to look at this is to try our best to break it. And thus far, we've not been able to do that.
So when are we gonna go, fully live? What is the plan? Tell me about the
Yeah.
roadmap.
Next use case is one that I'm most very excited about because I think it leads to the others,
Okay.
and that is confirmation of appointments. So
Okay.
that is where the authentication piece that we talked about really comes into play. We get about 3 million calls a year. We looked at our 7 use cases that we have thus far, and we basically looked to see what we thought we could offload from our team members. And that was roughly about 40 or to 50% of those calls,
Wow.
potentially. And so the next one is that confirmation of appointment. From there, we move on to being able to schedule simple appointments and, of course, cancel and reschedule.
Sure.
And then we hope to be able to look to route, not give medical advice, of course, but route the the person who's asking to the right area, to the right clinical team, because all of that is manual right now. And then the other piece was assisting with prescription refills
Right.
because patients don't necessarily understand the difference between when they have a refill left or when they need to talk to their clinical team to get the prescription. And having someone figure that out for the patients, I think would be outstanding. I mean, it frustrates me, and I know healthcare.
When you get this figured out, I'm moving to Chicago. Alright? I'm coming into the system, because I share your frustration and my current experience. I'm hopeful the audience understands, the challenges that a regulated industry has. Tyler, if we were to free the shackles and say you could go outside of industry, what advice would you give to someone that doesn't have that you've
Yeah,
learned so far?
I would say be prepared for the time that it's going to take
Okay.
to work through the issues and the solutions that are out there. And I'd also say find your influencers and your promoters and have them help you work the room, if you will.
And what about for the folks that don't have, the requirements that unfortunately a regular industry has to go through?
Enjoy it first of all.
No doubt.
Congratulations.
No
Go
doubt.
fast. In terms of the tool,
Yep.
don't find the tool first and say, "Look at this shiny great thing and what are all the things that we can solve with that?"
I love it.
We've really found that like thinking through where our pinch points are, where the pain points are for our patients and for our team members and what could really help us, really helped us think about
Mhm.
that bigger use case and how we can continue to move this forward.
I think it's excellent advice for folks who tend to focus on the shiny technology first, not thinking about actually how they're going to move either patient care, patient quality, or just flat out business results, right? Like what is a direct ROI? We're not doing this AI just to do cool stuff, right? I think your future use cases truly are going to help to transform your journey for your patients. And when it's all up and running, then I'll look for some property up in the Chicago area. Fair?
We've got room for you.
Okay.
And
Tyler,
we'll make it easy for you.
Tyler, thank you for the time today. Really appreciate it. Thank you for being a Salesforce customer and appreciate it. Thank you.
You bet. It's been my pleasure. Thank you so much for the time.